The Clockmaker's Gift. In a quiet corner of a bustling town, there was a small shop filled with the most wonderful sounds. Tick-tock, tick-tock, chiming and whirring. Each sound came from a clock. This was the shop of Mr. Aurelius Finch, the clockmaker. A young girl named Clara often walked past the shop. She was always drawn to the magical sounds and the warm glow from the windows. She would press her nose against the glass, wondering what secrets were held inside. One afternoon, Clara gathered all her courage and pushed open the heavy wooden door. A small bell tinkled above her head, announcing her arrival. She stepped inside and was overwhelmed by the sight and sound of the clocks. Mr. Finch, a kind-looking man with a gentle smile, looked up from his workbench. "Welcome, my dear," he said. "Each clock in this shop has a story to tell. What story would you like to hear?" Clara walked deeper into the shop, her eyes wide with wonder. She touched the smooth, polished wood of a tall grandfather clock and listened to the rhythmic tick-tock. She giggled as a small bird popped out of a cuckoo clock. "Some clocks tell the time of day," Mr. Finch explained, "but my clocks tell the time of memories." He pointed to a small, intricate clock shaped like a ship, its tiny sails made of silver. "This one holds the memory of a great sea voyage," he said, holding it to his ear. "It's filled with the sound of crashing waves and the cry of gulls, all captured in a moment of time." Clara's eyes were drawn to a dusty, lantern-shaped clock tucked away on a high shelf. It was different from the others. It didn't seem to be ticking at all. It was quiet and still. "What about that one?" she asked, pointing with a curious finger. Mr. Finch smiled and carefully took the lantern clock down, gently dusting it off with the soft cloth. "This clock is very special," he said, holding it in his hands. "It holds the memories of all the lantern festivals in our town's history. The light inside it is the light of 1,000 happy moments." Clara's eyes lit up. She remembered that the town's annual lantern festival was tonight. "Could I please borrow it?" she asked, her voice full of hope. "I want to take it to the festival with me." Mr. Finch nodded, a kind smile on his face. "Hold it close and listen carefully," he said. "The clock will show you that the most beautiful moments and the people we love are never truly gone." Clara arrived at the festival as the sun began to set. The air was filled with the scent of sweet treats and the warm glow of lanterns. People were laughing and singing, their faces lit by the soft light. She found a quiet spot under a large oak tree and held the clock to her ear, just as Mr. Finch had instructed. She closed her eyes and listened, her heart beating with anticipation. At first, she heard a jumble of sounds, music from a distant band, the laughter of children, and the distant hum of the crowd. Then, a single, clear voice emerged from the noise. It was the voice of her late grandmother, telling a story she used to tell Clara every year at the festival. Clara's heart swelled with a mix of sadness and joy. She realized that her grandmother's voice was not a memory, but a part of the present, alive within the clock. The clock was not just a keeper of time, but a keeper of love. Clara held the clock up, its light joining the thousands of other lanterns floating in the air. She felt her grandmother's presence, as if she was right there with her, sharing in the beautiful moment. The next day, Clara returned the clock to Mr. Finch. She thanked him for the most precious gift she had ever received, a gift that had brought her grandmother back to her. Mr. Finch smiled back and said, "The gift was not the clock, my dear. The gift was the understanding that the most beautiful moments and the people we love are never truly gone. They are always with us, in our hearts and in the stories we share.